We're gonna try this new restaurant for breakfast today. Oh, we've ordered some hot cakes and toast. This beautiful building right here is the Autonomous University of Yucatan. Though the present-day university was only established in 1922, its origins can be traced all the way back to the founding of a Jesuit boys' school in 1618. This is the city's famous Santa Lucia district. Its plaza was once the site of a hermitage and dunghill that in 1804 was transformed into what would become one of the city's most popular commercial squares, surrounded by some of the finest bars, restaurants, and chocolate shops. And bullfights have been replaced with traditional music and dance performances, which have been held in the square every Thursday night since 1965. And just across from the plaza stands one of the oldest churches in Merida, built at the end of the 16th century as a place of worship for slaves that have been brought over from Africa. Sadly, most of the artworks were lost when it was raided during the Mexican Social Revolution of 1915. Now, even though the city's grid pattern makes it easy to navigate, finding a particular business or landmark can be a little confusing, as there are no actual numbered addresses. Almost all the streets here are numbered, with even numbers running north to south and odd numbers running east to west. And if you want to give someone your address, you give them the street, and it's 2 cross streets. I've been here for a few days now, and one thing I'm noticing you won't see on social media is just how dilapidated a lot of the buildings are here. I also have seen quite a few beggars. In terms of safety though, I do feel very safe here. Though I actually haven't seen too many gringos, it does seem to be catered a bit more towards Mexican tourists. This is Santa Ana, one of the trendiest neighborhoods in Merida. It's home to some of the city's finest art galleries, cafes, and cultural centers, and one of the finest traditional food markets in the city. The neighborhood's church of the same name was completed in 1733, and its bells are said to have the best sound in all of Merida. For those familiar with Merida's history, the city's high standard of living should come as no surprise. In the late 19th and early 20th century, a large number of Korean immigrants came to Merida to help with cultivation of Henequen, which is a type of agave, whose fibers were used in the production of rope and twine, as well as a traditional Mexican liquor. It was during this period that Merida was home to more millionaires than any other city on earth. In fact, the plantation owners were so wealthy that they were sending their kids to private schools in Paris. Upon bringing them home, they commissioned French architects to design the Paseo Montejo, a Parisian-style avenue lined with lavish French-style mansions, some of which have been opened to the public as museums. And at the address known as Montejo 495 stands a pair of early 20th century French-style mansions. In spite of their subtle differences, to the untrained eye, the mansions appear seemingly identical, which earned them the nickname Casas, Gemelas, or the Twin Houses. Inaugurated on Christmas Eve of 1911, the mansions were the home of brothers Camilo and Ernesto Camara Zavala. Though one of the properties was left unfinished until it was acquired by its current owner, Mario Molina, it is still a private residence. The second home was acquired in 1964 by Fernando Camara Barbachano, a business magnate who founded the Regional Anthropology Museum and made the Yucatan the tourist hotspot it is today, through the establishment of their own airline and tour agency. Though one of the direct descendants still resides on the upper floor, recently she has generously opened up the lower floor as a museum, offering visitors an unprecedented glimpse into the authentic life of Merida's elite, and what has been dubbed the Versailles of Yucatan.
Well, the Mayans used to define the weather of the whole year by the days and the weather in January. The last name of the family was the Cámara Zavala. They were Yucatecan and worked with the seaside industry. They did a French architect, Gustave Molina, who designed the structure, but also the interior design. The first airline in Merida. So it's the first local airline that made like the national connection. French cabinet maker. We have two cabinet makers who design all the whole furniture here in the house. Inside you are going to see elements that the owners were the Cámara Zavala's family. You have posture pieces, ivory elements, and also the fans collection of Maria Hortense. Because of the first electrical use in Yucatan, also the telephone system. The carpet is a regional one, it's Persian carpet. The ironwork, these were brought from France. They have materials and bronze too. And also the beautiful stained glasses were brought from France. Or brought from Italy. We have 8 columns and 8 pilasters. And as you can see here in the main level, it's replicated on the level of the country. This space may look a little bit modern, but it's still original furniture.
Kennedy.
Yes.
Yeah, Kennedy and Jackie.
Came a few times to Merida, but never had the chance to visit the house. Because he passed away in the 63 and the house was bought in the 64. Who came was Jackie. She came for the first time in the 1968 and stayed here in this house for 4 days. After that, she came as another 5 times more, and the stays were between 3 and 4 days. They meet Don Fernando and John F. Kennedy in the 1940s. In here is in Uxmal with Don Fernando Barbachano and Jackie Kennedy. Now we are at the office. We have the Gypsy by Henequen, a French painter. We have the small portraits realized by Alfredo Flores and Spain painter. On the middle we have 2 French painters too. We have Pilar Valera and Jean-Gustave Mascar. Here the furniture is more modern. From the 1964 was realized by Arturo Pani, a Mexican designer. On the wall you can see one of the oldest things here in the house. This is a French tapestry. It has the name of Gobelin. The humidity, the sun, they help us to keep the piece as the beginnings, also because the material is 100% cotton. That this house is taller. So the house next door has only 3 levels.
To the mansion they have small kitchens.
You know, this is a big.
This is very rich.
Since the Cámara Zavala's one, we have all the tiles of the core of the basement, that are the original ones. And also the fireplace, we keep all the pure form and one of the grills. That's what they used to cook. That's why you find the space for the ashes, because they used to cook with wood.
So, how they make it?
Murano, yeah.
Waterfall tool, we have Macar crystal and also Vidrieras Monterrey crystal.
Both homes have the same layout, consisting of 10 bathrooms, 8 bedrooms, and 1 living room, though the mansard roof and attic/theater were added later. Mexico is home to more museums than any other country on earth, and right behind me is the Musem of Anthropology, founded in 1966. It's housed in the former mansion belonging to the governor of Yucatan, General Francisco Canton.
Payam hortzamna, cheyaya ola lusukin, tanunatza lukini, ukini chakyaya ola, payam hortzamna, cheyaya ola lusukin, etzabana chikokom, chenkakushi ekbalam, olchenik batelishlom, chakto putal tikahal, takushish kunsagushmal, Takun hoci cenica, beșan kispan isamal, takushul salti kustal, taktunushul salti yunkim, taktunushul salti yunchak, hetuna wekle tuntushiu, mashir kabati kasiba, taktunushul salti yunkim, taktunushul salti yunchak, hetuna wekle tuntushiu, mashir kabati kasiba. Shuyes tam koshmalik batut sunokash la Quinta chikim shamam tak nochot tula katushka kipahom koshtun kipahal koshmul tunistik tula kabalo hatzotak takin lelentum yete tula kabal kotak koshmul Tanunatza lukini, hukini chakyaya olal, tumpayano horsamna, cheyaya olal usukin. Tanunatza lukini, hukini chakyaya olal, tumpayano horsamna, cheyaya olal usukin.
Taking a break from our sightseeing and stopped in for lunch at this Irish pub just across the street from the museum. Though the place is more about theme than food, we did manage to find one dish on the menu that's made from a traditional Irish recipe. Guards should you need it. This is interesting. This building seems seemingly out of place. This building is called the Yerba Santa Club, but it's more commonly known to locals as El Minaret because of that you see up there. Built in 1908, it was home to to a local doctor and his brother. Its unique blend of French neoclassical, Arabic, and Moorish architecture makes it unlike any other building in the city. Though today the mansion is closed to the general public, those who have the money can rent it out for private events and have the rare opportunity to experience the lifestyle of Merida's elite past. Another iconic mansion in the neighborhood is El Pinar, known simply as the Pink Mansion. Constructed in 1915 and originally the home of Umberto Peon, the mansion is also the subject of one of Merida's most famous urban legends. The story goes that in 1985 the mansion was home to a young Portuguese couple in the Henequen industry. During their short stint in the mansion, the woman acquired a severe case of rabies from a bat bite, and the legend goes that with no chance of saving her, the Portuguese businessman locked his wife in one of the rooms of the mansion until her death. It is alleged that the neighbors could hear her cries echoing through the walls. We're exploring the Casa Quinta Montes Molina, the only house in the city that remains exactly the same as it was when it was constructed in 1902. Commissioned by an Italian architect, this lavish estate was the home of Cuban entrepreneur Don Aurelio and his wife, who named it Villa Beatriz in memory of their firstborn daughter, who tragically passed away just a few years after being born. But just a few years later, during the onset of the Mexican Revolution, Don Aurelio returned to his native Cuba with his family in 1915, and the home came into the possession of Spanish businessman Avelino Montes Linaje. Arriving in Merida as a 13-year-old school dropout, the crafty errand boy would eventually grow up to become one of Merida's most successful businessmen and go on to marry and father 7 children with the daughter of a local governor. To this day, the Montes Molina family still owns and maintains the property, but have generously opened it to the public as a museum.
Una historia sin tiempo que no tiene fin. Un amor como el nuestro ya ni nunca podrá morir. Quiero ser en tu alma un momento feliz. Te amaré por siempre, viviré dentro de ti.
I'm standing in front of the Monumento de la Patria, probably the most famous monument in Merida. I thought there would be a lot more to see and do here, but you can still find some of the problems and issues associated with Latin American. I'll still take this over Cancun any day of the week.
En los días de dolor, siente